And we are following breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ. The New Orleans Pelicans have hired their next head coach, and he is that man right there, former Suns assistant Willie Green. Spent the past 2 seasons there in Phoenix, serving as the team's defensive coordinator under Monty Williams. So prior to his stint with the Suns, he was an assistant coach with the Warriors for 3 seasons, winning back-to-back NBA championships. He also spent 12 seasons as a player, including the 2010-2011 season with the New Orleans Hornets. So, of course, we have had a very big coaching carousel here in the NBA, but Willie Green filling the final vacancy. Let's welcome in our good friend Avery Johnson, former coach of the year. So the New Orleans Pelicans now have their new head coach, and they've gone through their own coaching carousel. Avery, what do you make of this hire, Willie Green to the Pelicans?
Well, Willie's done an outstanding job, as an assistant coach. He was with the Warriors, and, I know Monty Williams personally, and he raves about Willie, and I had a chance to spend some time with Willie at the Suns training camp 2 years ago, pre-COVID. So he's going to do a really good job. I've heard he's a really likable guy. I think the connectivity with he and Zion Williamson is going to be critical. And I just think it's a lot of pressure on everybody involved with the Pelicans because they didn't get Stan Van Gundy coaching job right. Whenever you have to fire a coach after 1 year and he's got to leave with a very hefty payday just for him to move on, that's not a good sign. So I know they're hoping that they've gotten it right with Willie Green because I think the future of this franchise is really hanging in the balance with the decision that Zion Williamson is going to make moving forward, especially now that he's on his 3rd coach in 3 years.
You mentioned it right there, 3rd coach in 3 years. I mean, how does that affect a player like Zion when they just get into the league?
Well, it affects Zion the same way it affects quarterbacks in the NFL when they're on their 3rd offensive coordinator in 3 years. You just can't really build anything, any chemistry or synergy. So I just think with Zion, he's got to have some stability, and the stability is going to come from the head coach, the coaching staff, because he needs to lay the right foundation in terms of moving forward, because he's going to have to make a decision on whether he wants to move forward in the future with the Pelicans or he wants to move on the same way Drew Holiday, Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, and others have done in the past.
Avery, he's got some decisions to make. You got Lonzo Ball, a restricted free agent there. Also just kind of how to develop this young talent that he has. In your mind, what are some of the first things he's going to have to tackle?
Well, I think he's going to have to tackle that backcourt with the Pelicans because Eric Bledsoe and Lonzo Ball, they were probably at the bottom in terms of Western Conference in terms of starting backcourt. So I think that's something they're going to have to tackle. They're going to have to figure out how to get Kyra Lewis more minutes. Their 1st-round draft pick, a guy that I had a chance to coach with Alabama. Figure out what they want to do with Steven Adams. Is he a good fit to play with Zion, especially in the front court? Willie Green's going to have to figure out his assistant coaching staff. Is he going to retain some of those coaches that were on their staff from last year? Does he want to bring in his own coaching staff? So a lot of big decisions to make, from a draft pick standpoint, who's going to be the right fit with their 1st-round draft pick, free agents that they want to sign. So they have a really huge off season because this is a team that there are 10 teams that can make the playoffs, even with the 4 teams that's with the play-in game. So if you're not one of 10 teams that can make the playoffs, you have a lot of big decisions to make in the off season. Because I know the Gail Benson, who owns both the Pelicans and the Saints, she wants to be in the playoffs. They want to have a similar run to what the Phoenix Suns have had, and I think it's got to start next season.
Avery, just really quickly, I mean, he's young, 39 years old. He's going to be the 3rd youngest coach in the NBA. He's dealing with a young squad there. The Pelicans could have gone in a bunch of different directions. Was he the best fit, in your opinion?
Oh, yeah, Willie Green is definitely a good fit. I got my first coaching job when I was 39, 40 years old when I retired from playing with the Mavericks, and there were a lot of doubters on whether I could make the transition. Willie Green can definitely make the transition. But at the end of the day, Amanda, players have to make plays. They have to get defensive stops. They got to take care of the basketball, make good decisions, improve their conditioning, finish games in the fourth quarter, make your free throws. All of those things make your coach look really good. So, yes, Willie Green has to do his part, but the players have to do their part. And there are not many Chris Pauls that are sitting on other teams that's wanting to get traded the way Chris Paul got traded to the Phoenix Suns. So players got to make plays. Coaches got to help them develop. And if all of those things can come together, who knows, they can have a pretty high ceiling.
Avery, the Pelicans hope to rely on him just the way we rely on you. Jumping in with this breaking news in the middle of the day. We appreciate it. Avery Johnson joining us here on CBS Sports HQ. The Pelicans hiring Willie Green as their next head coach. You heard Avery say that will be now Zion's third coach in the past 3 years. Taking a look at upcoming notable dates for the NBA. Of course, Willie Green's going to have to get right to work because the draft 1 week from today, July 29th. Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.